What is rum? This is a beginner's guide to what rum actually is. These clear bottles, these are rum. These golden bottles, these are also rum. This dark golden colour, also rum. This black spice liquid, yes, this is rum. These bottles are 40% ABV. This is 45% ABV. This is 54.5% ABV. This one here is 63% ABV. But we class them all as rum. And you don't get that with other spirits. You don't get a clear whiskey. You don't get a dark gin. You don't get a really dark golden vodka. But rum, it's a different ball game. In this video, I'm going to explain what rum actually is. I'm going to briefly explain why all rums are made with sugarcane, but all sugarcane spirits aren't rum. I'm going to take a quick trip around the world and show you the different ways rum's recognised in different countries. And hopefully we'll answer the question, what is rum? I believe rum has an identity crisis. Ask 5 people what rum is and they'll give you 5 different answers. Some believe spiced rum is real rum. Others will say rum should be clear and strong like Ray and Nephew. Others will say it needs to be this beautiful golden colour. And some people won't look at anything past navy rum. So if that's the case, what actually is rum? So if we were going to use the definition for rum, rum is a distilled spirit made from the byproducts of sugarcane. These byproducts are molasses, syrup, or sugarcane juice. And then this is fermented, distilled, and then sometimes aged. In English, if it comes from sugarcane and distilled, it's usually rum. But how it's made, where it's made, and how strong it is, it changes everything. And to make it even more confusing, in different countries, a real rum means different things. In the UK, to be a rum, it must be at least 37.5 ABV, alcohol by volume, to be classed as a legal rum. So things like Captain Morgan's Spice Gold, Lamb Spice, Bacardi Spice, they're not really rums. In the United States and Canada, it's 40% ABV. In Mexico, it's lower, it's 35% ABV. And then in some countries, it must be aged for at least 2 years. And then some countries, they allow additives like extra sugar to be put in, whereas others, they won't class that as rum. As confusing as this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's what makes rum so special, so diverse. But it's also where a lot of people can get lost. So as I said, rum is made from the byproducts of sugarcane, and that could be molasses, that could be sugarcane juice, and that could be sugarcane syrup. What most of you would have drank is molasses-based rum. It's the most common around the world. And then the second most popular, but also it's got its own name, agricole rum. That is rum that's made from sugarcane juice. And these 3 byproducts of sugarcane that are used, they all have their own unique sort of flavour and taste. And that's why producers go for these individual flavours. So if you're in the UK, a lot of your rum and a lot of the cheaper rums and the more mainstream rums, they use molasses. And you'll get that a lot. And that's why you see this kind of bolder flavour, this darker sort of flavour, but also that caramel flavour. Cane juice can be a bit more botanical, so it's a bit more grassy, a bit more herby. And a bit more rare is the sugarcane syrup rums, and that lies somewhere in the middle. It doesn't mean it's more balanced, maybe the flavour's a bit more confusing, but it's definitely distinct. And then we get to rum strength. So the most mainstream rums tend to be between 37.5% ABV and 40%. If you're out and about and you get more craft rums, you're looking at things that more 45% and above. Then you get navy rums, which tend to lie between 54.5% ABV and 57% ABV. But rums that aren't navy rums but are stronger than about 50%, they're usually called overproof rums. And stronger rums doesn't mean better rums, it means more intense rums. So what is rum? Well, as I've said, rum is one of the most diverse spirits in the world. 2 bottles that call themselves rum can taste completely different than one another. And rum, it isn't just one flavour. It isn't just spiced. Rum isn't just for cocktails. Rum is a sugarcane spirit that has been shaped by country, by culture, by climate. In a lot of countries, rum's an identity. And if you're just a beginner or you're already on your journey drinking Captain Morgan's, why not try something else? Why not try Mount Gay Barbados rum? If you like Bacardi, why not try something a bit more Cuban or something that's a bit more flavourful? Maybe just go to M&S and have a brilliant white rum for £15. And if you're into your spice rums, why not try something a bit aged? The flavours that come from a barrel. It could be vanilla, it could be cinnamon. It won't be as sweet as your spice rums, but there's some delicious flavours out there. So there's a journey of what rum is. We've gone very basic. We could really expand, but this is just the beginning of a journey. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. If you really want to follow me on this journey, maybe subscribe. But until then, just enjoy your rum. Cheers.